Hello, I wanted to do a little comparison video comparing the 21-22 Manchester United home authentic jersey and the 2021. So I'm going to first of all talk about what's the same and then what is different between these two shirts and my overall thoughts and feelings about how it looks. So first up, the size and dimensions are exactly the same. So these two shirts are both a large, chest length, shoulders are all the same. The weight is very similar, but not identical. So the 2021 on the left weighs 165 grams in large, and on the right, 21-22 is 168. So only 3 grams difference, basically the same. Zooming in first of all, the most important thing is of course the club crest. This is unchanged in design, it's the same as last year. So too is the Adidas logo, which has a slightly sort of textured feel to it. The shoulder stripes, the 3 stripes up here, are the same. It's a similar kind of transfer to last time around. And on the sleeve, the cola sponsor is exactly the same as before. A sort of transfer, same size, and same look overall. So moving on, slightly further down the shirt, we've got the same authentic licensed product badge from Adidas. I mean, the year's changed, but otherwise everything else is as it was before. And then bottom right, we have the same Heat.Rdy logo. That is unchanged from last time too. So that is all the kind of similarities that we have. And now to talk about what is different, I think the biggest thing that you feel when you put it on is the material. So I prefer this. I think it's more breathable. It's quite thin material, and there are these stripes. So the material is the same, but because they have a slightly different texture, you can see this very subtle sort of stripe pattern. The stripes have a slightly more breathable knit, so there are slightly bigger air holes for ventilation, and presumably they would also do a slightly better job of wicking sweat away as well. So I like it. I live in a very hot climate in Singapore, where pretty much every day it's over 30 degrees, high humidity. So I've actually found this more pleasant to wear. If we move over to the previous season, there's this kind of slightly bobbly look, which, it was fairly breathable, but I didn't find it the most comfortable. And this was basically copied over all the authentic Adidas shirts. I think what I like, as well as the comfort of this new version, is that it's actually customizable by clubs. So as I say, we've got these 3 sort of stripes in the front, but different clubs can do different things. So currently, the Juventus Authentic kit, which is also made by Adidas, has this sort of star pattern instead of the stripes. So I guess just a nice way for you to feel like it's slightly personalized to your club. And I think it's a step in the right direction for Adidas, instead of just the copy-paste that we had before. It's worth noting that Heat.Rdy badge was on both kits, but obviously the actual material is slightly different, so I have no idea why Adidas have called it that. Also, again, just for reference, this is the 1920 kit. For some reason, this was called Climate Chill, but the material is basically the same, and it has the same sort of structure. So I don't really get Adidas's branding. It's just a bit weird. Moving on to the collar. So you'll see there's this little liner here in gold that says youth, courage, success. All good things, and let's hope for a successful season coming up. The collar itself has this sort of knitted pattern, which I guess gives it a little bit of structure, which is quite nice. I find it fairly comfortable to wear. It's an improvement on last season's, but my favourite recently is still 1920, which had this really sort of smooth material, and again, like you don't want anything tugging at your neck or chest. So for me, this is still the benchmark. Previous season, 2021, I find it a little bit abrasive, to be honest. Not the most comfortable. You can see it's got a slightly rougher texture than this smoothness here. But moving back to this season, I think the current knitted form is an upgrade on last season. So that's good. I'm happy with that. The same material has been applied, as you can see, on the sleeves. So it's got this quite retro look, and again, same material being used. And then I guess really big change that you would notice is the sponsor has changed to TeamViewer. So, I mean, I think on balance, that's a good thing. There are some positives to it. One is that the color can be changed kit by kit, whereas previously you were stuck with this Chevrolet badge, which was this big fat gold lump that basically couldn't change color, whatever kit color was being used. So there's a bit more versatility. I feel slightly like the kit is slightly unbalanced though. The TeamViewer kit is really high up, whereas the Chevrolet sort of seemed to be filling up the space a little bit better. It's positioned slightly lower. So I felt that the Chevrolet logo was a bit more balanced, but could be worse. Also, just my OCD talking, I found the fact that the TeamViewer logo doesn't really align with Adidas was a bit annoying. And then, and this is just the company, it's slightly weird having this logo here taking up so much space. You then have bold team and then slightly less heavyweight lettering for viewer. I don't really get that, but hey, it's better than nothing, and they're paying a lot of money to the club, so happy days. Finally, moving down the shirt, we have this gold hem, which is on both the front and back. I think it's quite a nice touch. It reminds me a little bit of the Real Madrid shirt of 1920, which had a similar hem for the authentic version. And then the last change that we have is on the back, where we've got this nice little devil motif by the neck. So overall, I think it's a nice shirt. I think it's an improvement on last year. For me, the big change is obviously the styling. It's a slightly cleaner design compared to the bus seat of the previous year. I like the white collar and sleeves. I think it gives it a kind of slightly retro feel. I'm all for a bit of, Bobby Charlton vibes coming through. And then finally, I think the comfort is better. As I say, I'm used to being in a very hot climate, and you do notice the slightly improved breathability. So that's a good thing. Well done, Adidas.